It's Friday, and all week you've been waiting for this feeling, right? That lift, that sense that you're finally there. But this Friday feels a little different, right? Because you've made the banging decision not to drink alcohol. But suddenly, that Friday feeling that you usually get, it's not there anymore. The anticipation is still running. Your body is still expecting something, but the old way of ending the week is gone. And that leaves a strange, uncomfortable gap. Welcome to the Truth About Alcohol podcast. I am your host, LeeDavy, and this is a pod for people who know there's something about their drinking doesn't quite add up, and they want to understand why stopping can feel so much harder than it should. No labels, no judgments, just honest conversations about alcohol and change, okay? And Friday, as we know, has always carried this promise, right? Not just of rest, but of release. Because all week you've been keeping yourself in line, right? You've been watching what you say, you've been pushing through the boredom of work, you've been putting up with things and putting up with people you don't really want to be doing. And Friday afternoon signals that this is nearly over. Your system clocks it before you do. You start leaning forward into the evening, right? Plans feel closer, time feels looser. And for a while, alcohol was the thing that always made that promise real. Not because it was fun, but because alcohol was the way that you ended the week. It shut things down. It stopped any effort. So when you decide not to drink, something odd happens. Friday still arrives. The expectation still fires. The charge you have is still there. But the relief your body is expecting doesn't turn up. And when you stop drinking, Fridays don't all of a sudden become calm. Sometimes they actually become even louder. Not on the outside, but on the inside. Because your nervous system doesn't care about your decision yet. It only understands patterns. And it knows that Friday meant something finally stopped. So when that stop doesn't happen, your system gets very unsettled and you become restless, irritable, and the big one, lonely. And your thoughts start turning inward. What's wrong with me? Why does this feel so much worse and not better? Why is everybody else around me who is drinking, why do they feel fine and I don't? And when you start this internal chatter, the parts of you that relied on alcohol to make the system feel safe, they start negotiating with you quietly, reasonably, just this once. Why don't we just drink this Friday? You don't have to do this forever. We can stop drinking on Monday. And there's nothing abnormal about this, right? There's nothing wrong with you. This is conditioning suddenly meeting a gap where there's nothing present. So here's what's actually happening underneath it. Drinking alcohol on a Friday, it wasn't just a drink, it wasn't just a substance, it was a signal. It was a thing that told your system the week is over and the weekend begins. And when you take away the alcohol without replacing the signal, Friday gets exposed big time. The effort drops, but nothing takes over, right? So instead of relief, you feel massive bouts of uncomfortableness, loneliness, boredom. And this isn't because you're failing, it's because the old way of shutting the week down has gone and you haven't replaced it with anything. And this feeling that you're having right now, it will show up again. It will show up likely every Friday. And when it does, that repetition isn't a sign that you're stuck. It's the system's way of asking you for a new way forward, a new way to deal with this problem. So if this Friday gap feels familiar to you, you don't need to solve it this Friday. Just notice when those feelings start, okay? Because what you'll probably find is they start earlier than expected. And if you want a place to put this moment, rather than battling it or judging it for yourself, there are spaces designed to help exactly with this type of transition, all right? So you can just let me know on the strivemethod@gmail.com if you want to learn more about that. Friday hasn't changed. The way you used to end the week has. And that is the truth about alcohol. Much love and strive on, everybody. Until Monday, have a great weekend and you can get through this Friday without drinking.